Dr. Mark Changizi here with your Science Moment. I wanted to talk today about one kind of calculation folks should do, and it should be something they should always think about if there's a kind of mass movement, a collective hysteria. And of course, it doesn't feel like that when it's happening to you. You actually believe you're involved in this community and you've got to do these things. And there are these certain folks who are against this new notion of the good, obviously good. They're the enemy. And as you start to throw rocks at them, metaphorical rocks, and say how awful they are and that they should be coerced to do this, or they should be quarantined out of society, or they should be given second-class citizen rights, if this sounds a little bit absurd to you, it just happened. It just happened over 3 years concerning the unvaccinated. I don't want to go through all of the things that happened to them that were close cousins of what has happened in many different countries that have gone through have undergone totalitarian forces like this, right? It's the kind of things we talk about here. If you find that you're in such a group, you need to think about it before you begin attacking those who are the deniers, those who are against this righteous good, because those few who are standing up in the face of the mob, because, right, you've got the mob at your back, right? You're thinking to yourself, I've got the mob at my back. I'm powerful. And you're not doing it because you're powerful. I mean, you might be doing it because you're powerful, but not consciously so, right? But you need to think about it. These small number of folks that are standing up to you, they're not like you, right? They're standing up to you despite there being a righteous mob behind you, threatening them, threatening to cancel them, right? Now, if they have the guts to stand up to this big righteous mob with pitchforks, right, threatening their jobs, their careers, threatening to do that, well, they might remember who you are and your role in that mob. And the kinds of folks who stand up to a righteous mob, what are they going to do to you when they find you alone later without the mob at your back? And I'm not referring to violence, but we're going to remember who you are. And I'm saying we now, as in those on Team Reality, in particular concerning the COVID authoritarianism that has occurred over the last 3 years. We've gone out of our way to remember who agitated for these civil liberties violating, utterly irrational, devastating, and ineffective interventions. We remember who you are. And we're the folks who weren't afraid when you had a mob at your back. So what's going to happen now if there's no mob at your back, right? You're not going to feel so tough anymore. And you're in front of a crowd that's not like the average person that was behind you when you were in the mob. Now, I'm saying this right now because I wanted to get into people's heads. They should think to themselves before they join righteous mobs doing the good, that whoever they're attacking, the hysteria could settle down later. Right? It could just wisp away, and suddenly you're like, oh, I don't quite feel so courageous anymore without these folks behind me. I'm feeling kind of silly about it. Well, the folks that you attacked may not feel that it's over. COVID is over, but COVID isn't over. We remember who did this, and we're not the folks that are going to let you get away with it. Right? And it has to be done. It's part of free expression itself and moving towards the truth. And the corrective mechanisms of free expression is to remember who did it, and their reputations need to suffer for it. And that was your Science Moment. If you're interested in understanding free expression, how it works, how it's fed or works only by virtue of the fact that we evolved a specific suite of emotional expressions that all social animals have to communicate without proper language, get Dr. Tim Barber in my book, Expressly Human, something that was in fact censored by the very cowards I'm referring to. That's your Science Moment.